Greetings, housemates, and welcome to a special episode of my Let's Play XCOM Art of War series. Today we're going to be talking about the Sleeper class. The Sleeper class is probably one of the stranger classes. It breaks the mold, I should say, and is certainly worth understanding because it can be a little difficult. So here we have Haley Jones, aka the fast lane. Sleepers are faced, so your support archetype is faced with a choice between Sleeper from Neural Damping and Smoke Grenade, which takes you to the Command class. The Command class I'll make a video for right after this, as they are the two new classes in my mod. So the Sleeper starts off with a Gene mod, Neural Damping. It makes them immune to panic and gives them 20 extra will against psi attacks, and they'll need it because they actually have the lowest will progression in the game. Except these guys are kind of, you choose how they develop stat-wise. Thanks to Long War implementing the ability to increase stats given whatever perk choice you make, I like to play around with it. Here's how it works. This left column increases your aim by 2 for every perk you take. And this right column increases your will by 3 for every perk you take. If you take all aim bonuses or all will bonuses, that stat will be higher than any other class in the game can achieve. But otherwise, their natural stat progression is kind of low in everything, so they kind of require that you specialize them for whatever you want. The center here comes with mobility most of the time. Some of the really good perks don't provide mobility, like lightning reflexes and muscle fiber density. Like, they increase your mobility all on their own, and are just too good. But the other ones all increase your mobility, giving you the most mobility in the game. And Sleepers gain 1 health every level, which is far more than other characters, giving them the most health in the game. So this is a very stat-focused character class type. And then, so your first choice is between some fun active ability. Do you want rapid fire, close encounters, or run and gun? Close encounters, really popular choice, especially with muscle fiber density, so good. And then bioelectric skin on top of that means they can stand on top of UFOs and detect enemies inside naturally. It makes them great cleanup people with shotguns, and it's just so good. And then if you go down this way, you focus on crit chance and bonus damage, adrenal neurosympathy, adaptive lensing, chance to hit, all the way into Slayer, which gives tons of extra critical damage if you score that. And plus rapid fire really takes advantage of all those aim bonuses and crit bonuses. Close encounters, sure, lets you jump around all over the place. Lone Wolf, because you'll be other places. Lightning reflexes, very late in the game. You can take a little thunder out of the scouts, but they've already specialized into other ways at this point. And it can be nice to have spare lightning reflexes. And then Death Dealer, that is killing a flanked or exposed target refunds your action. So later on, with this high super mobility and jump over walls and all sorts of stuff, you'll be able to murderize people. Yeah. And then Run and Gun here may seem like an odd choice, but Run and Gun is a very powerful perk, as you well know. It's great with rifles, not just shotguns, and it lets you be really flexible in your movement. Plus, not all shotgun-type weapons come with Run and Gun. You'll find that out eventually. Subdermal Plating, Regenerator, Tactical Sense, Bloodworks. This is XCOM operatives are guaranteed to bleed out the first time they're incapacitated each mission. They suffer no will loss from incapacitation, and they have an additional 2 turns before they bleed out. This is basically your biotank chain. It's going to hook you up with the ability to not suffer if your tank gets totally blitzed by something, regenerate health quite quickly, and with their large health pool, this perk is really worth it. Subdermal Plating gives them some built-in damage reduction. Built-in defense if you want it. You do want to not take this if you want people to focus fire you, because it'll make your defense higher than your friends, and then the aliens won't pick you. But if you do want them to just be really survivable, take Tactical Sense. So you note that all of these are passives. And unlike my other classes, it's not really that you get perfect combos, perfect synergies in this class. It's more kind of like you stack on whatever you want more of. And if you want to jump around and make the soldier to your, just whatever, you kind of control the stats here. You control what they're good at. They don't have many actives, so they're kind of dependent on equipment to control how they act. But it also means that if you get some sweet new equipment, the sleeper's likely to be able to use it just as well and or better than most of your more specialized characters. Also, the 20 extra will against psi attacks and the immunity to panic and the immunity to mind control, they will be stunned for 1 turn, but still are great. This is kind of your psi hunter class or someone who's going to tank the psi powers. Their low natural willpower mean that they're actually kind of really tempting targets for psi powers despite this perk. So it's kind of a trap. They look like good targets for psi powers, but then they turn out not to be, and to be kind of resistant to them. And since they don't panic, they're great. Sleepers are kind of like super rookies is kind of how I think about them. They've just got natural stats. It's all passives and stuff except for a little bit of choice early on. But really they excel in their stats and their flexibility when equipped with different weaponry. So let's take a look at what you might equip them with. This one I do, generally my first at least sleeper goes close encounters, muscle fiber density, bioelectric skin, because it's great for assaulting UFOs. Muscle fiber density is so good in so many ways. So sleepers are great with shotguns. They're also great with the heavy rack, especially if you spec into aim. But with mobility, note we've already got 14 mobility and 8 health, even though we're only corporals. We've only got our first, 3 perks? Yeah. So we're looking nice and tough. That means I probably want tack armor, so I'm more likely to be shot at when I'm in low cover if I want. Demolition rigging, maybe breaching kit, and because the breaching kit reduces our defense and is quite heavy, and it even reduces our aim, let's just go with something we know we can make accurate. So right here, maybe the cutthroat too, we can pile it on even though it is heavy. With our high mobility, thanks to us being sleepers focused on mobility, we still manage to have a kind of decent movement range despite being loaded down with all of the heaviest equipment in the game. Like this is pretty slow. But that does mean we come in with 12 health, unheard of 12 health, 1.4 damage reduction, run and gun. Grenadier gives us a 20% extra throw range, but it doesn't actually do anything for support grenades like the breaching kits. Flashbang. Neural dampening, so we're resistant to mind attacks, close encounters. We can get off 2 shots as long as we can get near someone, or a hit and run. Muscle fiber density lets us jump onto roofs, so good. Hardened, and Guardian from the breaching kit indicates that we have a little higher damage reduction. That's counted up here. And when we go into Overwatch, our defense goes up. So this would be my kind of, I need an assault. Okay, but what if we really want to take advantage of muscle fiber density and this high mobility of ours? In that case, I would probably go with, I like motion trackers on people who have run and gun a lot. And if we have I don't have an analysis module yet, but the extra crit chance from that is sick. I'd probably go with a cover destroying grenade. And why not just the standard pistol, or maybe the MAC-10. Note that the cutthroat is heavier than the MAC-10. The MAC-10, oh, I didn't go over sidearms in my weapon. Tisk. High crit chance, same damage as the pistol. It's just really likely to crit, especially if you flank someone. So for only 1 less mobility, I might take the MAC-10. Here we have 15 mobility. We can jump up onto roofs. We can run and gun with our shotgun or this thing. And we have a little bit of cover destruction and a little bit of, feedback capabilities from this one. And if we're just going to rely on our high health to keep us alive, then we don't actually need the tack armor to tank or give us that little bit of damage reduction, and we can get 16 mobility out of this. And then lastly, if I were, say, going down the aiming track and had taken rapid fire and adaptive lensing, adrenal neurosympathy, you really want to kill something if you have that, then you're probably going to look something like this. I would consider, with rapid fire, I would consider the heavy rack or the rifleman rack for their solid range. A scope, definitely, if you have it. If you don't, then the laser sight telemetrics kit is going to boost your aim by 8 altogether. And your sidearm, you're probably not going to be flanking anything, so just go for more mobility. Maybe the ability to sit in place is best, so you want to be comfortable in any kind of cover. So here you have heavy rack. It doesn't combo well with close encounters, but with rapid fire it's pretty good. And of course, thanks to adaptive lensing, you would get +10 aim anytime you missed a shot. So with rapid fire, you're very likely to get that +10 aim bonus, and it should help on one shot or the other, or your next shot, or whatever. And so you will be putting out really deadly fire because of the high damage here. And of course, all this accuracy you're stacking from your natural sleeper progression plus your equipment is going to make you pretty deadly at picking targets out of heavy or light cover, thanks to sharpshooter. All right, guys. And of course, if you're tanking, you're tanking. Oh, one more thing. So all this high will doesn't have to go to waste. Obviously, neural damping isn't compatible with psi powers, but you can remove gene mods from your sleepers, even neural damping in the gene laboratory. So you can replace it with something else. And if you do that, then this will track will actually give you the most powerful, the highest will progression in the game. So you can have a really tanky psi soldier if you build up this right-hand tree and then replace neural damping. At least it should. If that doesn't work, then I'm doing something wrong. All right, guys, that's been a look at the sleeper class. I hope it cleared up any issues you might have had. I hope you learned something. And yeah, until next time, remember that it's all downhill from here.